Let us imagine that you were given a task for developing a possible solution for remote learning experience, but you should also apply it into virtual reality environment. How would you do it? This was a task which we had to work with during our HAMK Design Factory's product development course, while also providing the students a more immersive learning environment. During the PDP experience, each student group gets assigned with a project sponsor who provides a problem for the project for the groups to solve with a prototype of their research and design. During this project, the groups need to empathize with the user, define the problem, brainstorm solutions, develop a prototype of that solution, test the prototype, and finally create an information booth where they can present their findings by the end of the course. Our first PDP course started on 21st of January 2019, and to the beginning of May 2020, the student groups had been developing their prototypes. The groups also had to present their prototypes in 2 sessions, one at the halfway point and the last one at the end of the course. These presentation points work as the minimum deadlines to ensure the development of the projects, feedback gathering from different viewpoints, and also as a great possibility for developing each individual's presentation skills. Unfortunately, our plans for the Final Gala did not go as planned, which forced us to develop other options for it to be made possible. More about this after the intro. So, going to the case itself. Because of the COVID-19, all of HAMK Design Factory's face-to-face meetings concerning knowledge-based sharing and collaboration was off limits and had to be avoided until deemed otherwise. Because of the self-isolation that followed at the beginning of this year, we have tested and ran a virtual reality software through a streaming platform for different project presentations. This also allowed us to brainstorm new possible solutions for remote learning and finding presentations. On 8th of May 2020, HAMK Design Factory held the Final Gala presentation day for their product development project students and for their prototype presentations. Originally, the plan for the PDV Final Gala, short-term meaning for product development project, was to be held in HAMK Hämeenlinna campus during the gala. The teams would present their projects and solutions to the participating audience. This would also be followed by another presentation session where the participants could walk through the project team booths, ask for more information about the team findings and their experiences in the project. These situations would provide a more concrete and immersive experience for both parties, but also for the student presentation findings, which can also provide the possibility for new connections for the future. Alas, this original plan was not possible because of COVID-19 would not allow us to provide a face-to-face meeting type of environment. This in turn required us to develop and provide a new solution for knowledge sharing with the students and sponsors, while also figuring out how to create a Final Gala experience remotely. The new solution for the Final Gala was that it would be held through a virtual reality space. This in turn requires the usage of our streaming equipment, Zoom chat software, and induction training to the needed VR tools. This could be utilized for our Final Gala and would provide the students, sponsors, and staff members a possibility to join the gala remotely. There are many different VR platforms to choose from, like for example Glue, VR Chat, Design Space, and Altspace, but the one which we decided to work with in the end was the Glue software, because it matched our PDP theme of prototype testing, and it was also evaluated as a part of our student thesis work. The thesis provided us more knowledge into the Glue platform and its usability in the Design Factory. It was written by Nina Järvinen in 2019, who graduated from HAMK degree program in Business Information Technology. Glue is a quite new platform which is still in its early development phase, but the idea behind it is to provide a virtual reality platform for groups to work on and help these groups to hold meetings in virtual space while possibly working remotely. It gives a good starting editing options for the users who are using the platform with VR equipment, but it also isn't closed off for the other users who can't use these or don't own this type of equipment. Next, Jali will explain more in depth about our solutions and findings.
Thank you, Markku. Since the setup was new to us, we took a week time to create the platform. We started on Monday and finished preparing on Friday, which was the Final Gala day. The final setup consisted of one computer that was dedicated to control the stream. It has the volumes, scenes, banner placement, etc. And the other computer that was capturing the presentation in blue and zoom. This was called the cameraman. And the problems that we encountered during the week before the gala mainly concerned that the microphone sound was looping, Google platform was crashing suddenly when opening new files, participants could not hear any sounds coming through the stream. When we faced these problems during the testing phase, we also knew that it was possible to happen during the gala. We also generated a checklist before the final gala day, so we were about 100% sure that everything was correct before we went live. Why we decided to approach the solution was because before the streaming setup week, we had to solve the problem how participants could enjoy the presentation that were happening in Glue. Looking up the solution A, we could see that since Glue only supports maximum to 20 to 25 concurrent users per session, and in Final Gala we had about 40 to 50 participants, there was no possibility to fit everyone in one session. One idea was to split up the groups in different rooms, and then comes the problem that we needed to make sure that the platform was working on every participant before we could continue the Gala development forward. This would mean also that during the Gala day we would have approximately 50 different computer setups that was generating 50 possibilities that something will go wrong, which will delay the schedule even more. Unfortunately, because we didn't have time and tools needed to get this solution done, we needed to think another solution to provide a solid platform for present remotely. On the scenario B, the solution was only to connect the presenters and their sponsors, live camera and the gala house to the platform. With these, there are only 5 to 10 possible sources for a problem to happen in, compared to having a problem with one of the 50 participants. The main disadvantage in this plan was that the stream had a delay about 3 to 5 seconds, and the ones who were following the stream had to chat in order to get questions and answers through the stream. But we decided that this was the best solution to minimize the earlier mentioned problems. We used Twitch.tv as a streaming platform for our final gala. The other possibilities were YouTube and Kaltura. Twitch.tv was chosen because we had the most knowledge and experience in this platform, and it was more starter-friendly platform for streaming than compared to the other two. Also, YouTube requires a 24-hour account pending process for new users before you can start streaming videos, and it takes a little bit more time to set up compared to using Twitch. So, how did it go? In the end, we were able to provide a remotely created Final Gala presentation for the participant with a few setbacks during the presentations, and most of the PDP students, their sponsors, and DS staff follow the Final Gala via Zoom and Twitch.tv. Every team was able to get the feedback from the staff and their team sponsors. Also, everyone who had problems with their sound and stream connectivity were able to get their problems solved in a short moment with the help from the streaming host staff. Since we were prepared for the problems to occur, the presentations were on schedule, and we managed to wrap up the Final Gala on time. Okay, so how much did it cost then? Looking at the numbers, the starting investment was €0 because we already had one set available. In this project, we mainly focused on generating a possibility for students to use the Glue platform in desktop mode, but we knew that using this method, some of the key features could not be used since they required VR equipment. This was not ideal setup for the virtual world, but taking time into account, this was the most viable solution. More ideal setup would be that we could provide VR headset for each group and customer companies, and this allows the groups to create models in 3D space and then communicate directly with the customer companies to manipulate the model. Also creating more immersive experience through the whole PDP course and virtual gala. For this project, the overall cost for the equipment would have been around €5,000, which contains 11 VR headsets. So, Markku, how we move forward from this?
So, for our future plan, we want and need to develop our remote learning platforms to further avoid as many as possible of the earlier mentioned technical difficulties which we had during the remote PDP run. Currently, we are evaluating alternative platforms such as Mozilla Hubs or VR Chat, which could bring a more intriguing and immersive meeting experience. One key learning point here, or subject that needs to be taken into consideration, is that whatever platform is chosen in the end, is that the participants who do not own VR equipment or high-end computers should still be able to get the most out of the immersive experience. Thus, we need to take these concepts into consideration when deciding on a possible VR platform, or how could we possibly provide these equipments for the students in the time of their needs. Having a VR equipment in the future for groups and companies allows faster communication, faster product development to create and edit prototype together with the company and sponsors. Involve them and let them interact with the object, direct feedback in virtual world, create workshops that allow students to brainstorm new ideas directly into the VR world, have a platform for them to go, create and test different prototypes and ideas in real-time live scenarios. Also concerning the streaming platforms, mainly being where to create a streaming session, in the end it doesn't really matter which streaming platform one decides to use. YouTube, Caldera, Twitch TV, they all get the job done, and they provide its viewers the possibility to watch content, to some extent join in on the stream also through the chat to become the participant of the stream. We chose Twitch TV because we felt more comfortable with the platform, but for future occasions and depending on what kind of audience we want to reach, we might need to switch between platforms. Thus, with all of this in mind, we from HAMK Design Factory are looking forward to developing these ideas and content further to suit our needs better. If you believe you also could take advantage of the VR world and equipment in projects or group happenings, then we from HAMK Design Factory would highly suggest you to give it a shot.